Hello everybody, and welcome again to my channel. This is Eddie. In staying with my USPS theme of my recent videos, I want to create another one here today, and it's probably one that I should have started with because it's the most important one of all. When you work for the USPS in any capacity, but today I'll focus on letter carriers, CCAs, safety is incredibly important. And it is so easy and it happens so quickly to get hurt in the job when you are a letter carrier out there on the streets. And so I wanted to focus on safety today. I wanted to focus on what to really look out for. And it's a video that you really should pay some attention to because this will impact you. Because everyone will face safety issues right from the get-go when you work at the USPS. So I've broken down this presentation into 5 little parts, and these 5 parts are the 5 kind of hazards that you must always be aware of. And they are, I'm going to, not so much in order of importance, but the number 1 hazard is dogs. Okay? Dogs. There are others. There are street hazards, there are sidewalk hazards, there are within your van or truck fallen boxes hazards, and then there of course is weather hazards. But let me start out with dogs. Now when you're in orientation, you're introduced to the whole idea of dog bites, and they do spend a little bit of time talking about, you know, how to defend yourself in case a dog attacks you. They talk about your bag, your mail bag, as the most principal and important item to have to bring between you and the dog. Also, there's pepper spray that you're issued, and they instruct you on how to use that. And then they give you some tips and tricks, like when you walk up to a property and there's a fence, you should rattle the fence before you even think about going inside, and that is good advice. But the thing about dogs is you have to understand that they are generally very territorial. So when you're a new CCA, so CCAs listen up here, you're going to be assigned routes that no one else wants because you're the new person, you get the crappy routes. And these are often the routes in the bad neighborhoods that have tremendous amounts of hazards on the sidewalk and streets and in yards. They're the ones where grass is let to grow so you don't even know what you're walking on. This is where dogs run amok. They really do. Some are, you know, constrained behind the fences. Some run loose. So you have to always be alert when you're doing those routes because you're in those bad areas, you're in those neighborhoods that are run down, and you have just a lot of pit bulls. And a lot of people get pit bulls primarily for security of that house. And that's it. These are not friendly dogs. And they have not been socialized. So I've had it happen to me on several occasions where I've had pit bulls appear out of nowhere. And my bag was the only defense I had, my bag and my spray. And so you have your spray in one hand and you have your bag in the other, and you're like a matador with a bull. And it's serious. And so what I'm getting at is when you're out on those routes, even if you're in a good neighborhood doing a route in a, you know, an upper class place, let's say, there's dogs there too. And you never know how a dog is going to react, especially when you're entering its territory, okay? But you always want to have your bag on you, your mail bag. Even if it's just a little box you're delivering, or even if it's just a quick loop that you're doing with limited DPS, regular mail, have that bag on you because that bag truly is the only thing between you and a hostile dog. And it's saved me from dog bites 3-4 times already. Okay, so keep that in mind. Very important. dog bites. Okay. The second hazard I want to get into are street hazards, and I'll mix in sidewalk hazards as well. So when you're in neighborhoods, you don't know what you're going to walk up on. And like I said, if you're a CCA, you're getting undesirable routes. You're getting the routes that no one else wants. And those tend to be in rough areas. They tend to be in areas that have ripped up sidewalks, street potholes. There's a lot of tires. There's metal. There's garbage. There's just whatever you can think of. It's out there on those streets and sidewalks. So you have to be aware. You have to constantly look around and survey the area because you never know what you're going to step in. There's a lot of glass shards from broken bottles. There's cars speeding through the neighborhoods. Yes, that happens all the time. So you have to watch out for cars as well because they probably don't see you and they're just zipping by. So this is very real. This is something that every single time you get out of your van or truck and you're about ready to do a loop, you've got to have your bag, obviously, and you also really want to be aware of your surroundings. Okay, do not take anything for granted. Okay, that's very important. Hazards are everywhere. Also, another area would be within your van and truck. So you have a lot of stuff going on in your van and truck. You have boxes, you have spurs, you have a lot of trays with DPS mails and flats. There's a lot of items in your truck, and often when you sort your truck or van, you're putting boxes and packages up on different shelves, and you have to be aware that things move. Things jostle when you're on the road, and when you open up the back door of the truck or the side door of the van, you can have boxes come right at you. Okay, so you really want to be aware. Look for sharp edges, sharp metal edges on your shelving units in your vans and trucks. Okay, those get you all the time. Just wear gloves if you can. Make that a habit. Thin gloves, or even the gloves where you have the fingertips exposed, but you have the gloves on the rest of your palm and top of your hand. That really helps you from metal cuts and from paper cuts and things like that. So really important. Your van and your truck, in and of themselves, they are hazards. Okay, so be aware of that. Finally, let me talk about the weather. Now, the weather can be brutal. In summer, it can be tremendously hot, and depending on your geographic location. And when you're out there, you start to dehydrate very, very quickly. In summer, where I'm from on the East Coast, the mid-Atlantic area, it is so hot in summertime that you're going through 6 and 7 bottles of water and liquid. Your Gatorade, your waters. You're just going through bottle after bottle after bottle on your shift. And so you have to bring all that stuff with you. So make a habit of having, a lunchbox. Load that sucker up with liquids in summer. I mean 6, 7 bottles. Okay? And not just water. Water in and of itself is not enough. You need things like Gatorade, Under Armour, stuff like that have a lot more of the supplements in there, the nutrients and the electrolytes and things like that. You really need that extra liquid and those nourishment items in the liquid other than water. Water's good, but it's not enough when you're doing this kind of work in the heat. And in winter, wow, you really have to bundle up, but you have to bundle up in a layered way, okay? Because you're in and out of your van and truck all the time. And so you have to be properly clothed, or else you will get a cold, going from the heat to the cold, to the heat to the cold. So that's something that you have to really be alert. You're going to need gloves. Okay, you're going to need head protection. You're going to need proper shoes, boots. Okay, you really have to watch out for stairs all the time in all kinds of weather, but particularly in winter, because a lot of newer apartment buildings, a lot of newer residences, houses, they have sort of a vinyl staircase leading up to their house because vinyl stairs don't rot, and some have this Trex, but it's not. It's slippery. They don't treat it to make it slip resistant. So you get into these vinyl stairs and you try to walk up them in winter when they're iced over. It's like you're walking up a skating rink. Each stair is its own ice sheet, and it's so easy to slip and fall. You always have to hold on to railings, always, always in winter, because of these very slippery, icy stairs that you'll encounter repeatedly. In summer, you also want to use these railings because remember, as a CCA, you're delivering mail in undesirable areas that no one else wants to deliver mail in, and because you're the new person, you get that route every day, right? So even in summer, when it's hot out there, you got to watch those staircases. A lot of those wooden staircases are rotted, and there's holes in them, and you have to always hold the railings, if they're there, on those stairs as well. You just really have to be alert, okay? And again, when you get up a staircase and you're on the landing of the house, always watch out for dogs blasting through screen doors, because that happens too, and you have to be aware. So I keep saying the word aware and alert because that is 90% of your safety. Because at the end of the day, you have a bag and you have pepper spray. That's really not much to protect you from vicious dogs or dogs that are very territorial. It's just not. So you have to use your brains, and you have to really, really pay attention to your surroundings. If you feel your safety is in effect here, and that you are being compromised or you're walking into a compromised situation, do not deliver that mail. Do not, okay? You take it back. You can write on mail, dog was there, or, just dogs, you can even write on there. And that's fine. Your supervisor will understand that. But do not make deliveries where you feel your safety is being threatened. Do not. I cannot repeat that enough. Okay? So a lot of what I said in this video is common sense, but you will face it, and you will face it your first week. You will face these challenges with dogs and with environmental hazards. Because again, as I said 3-4 times already, you will be working routes that nobody else wants, i.e. equals, by definition, however you want to say that, that means you're going to be on the routes with hazards and dangers. So beware, okay? Have a good day, and I will see you next time. Please like and subscribe the video.